Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third.
We've watched Iguodala play great basketball. He's got 13 points and 1 steal as well. It's been a really complete performance for him today.
And Clark, he's made a huge impact at both ends of the floor.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Iguodala has been sensational.
You know, and as effective as he was at slashing to the hoop in that first half, even better at finishing once he got there.
Guys, we saw some amazing dunks from him. I can't imagine he'll be able to top those in these last 2 quarters, but I'd love to see him try.
On the court for Atlanta, they've got Klay Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins out there with Kenneth Faried. Then there's Irving, and it's Fox in at the 3 spot. And Atlanta calls their first timeout of the game.
You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit, and I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for.
Irving against Iguodala. The shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Irving. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play. For Atlanta, they have shot a good percentage from the free throw line so far. They've made 5 out of 6. Iguodala kicks to Towns. In the corner, George with it. It's good from long range. George has got 8 points.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
And here's Leonard from 3. Here's Howard. And there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. And Chicago leads by 1. Irving passes to Faried. Cousins dishes to Thompson. There's the killer 2-handed slam. And Clark, a great competitive game so far.
Yeah, tit for tat. I mean, back and forth, plenty of lead changes, and excellent play.
And from the look of it, this one could go right down to the wire.
Here's Fox. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. He's got 7.
Everything working for him out of the half as they've hit 4 of their first 5 shots.
Here's Iguodala, and he goes in for the dunk.
Whoa, that'll wake you up. My goodness.
Is he an athlete or what?
No doubt about it. It's almost as if he lives in the air, and dunks like that have become quite commonplace.
Stolen by George for the finish. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker. Went for the 2-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Yeah, I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
You're right, Clark. Just continue to pound it in the paint and get those easy points inside.
That drops. 12 points here for Cousins.
Not a good idea to let him get such good position in the paint.
It's more than a bad idea. It's real trouble. I mean, he'll make that 10 out of 10 times.
Down low. Leonard with the steal. Tries it from 9. Here's Howard. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Chicago shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. And that one falls for Howard. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Taj Gibson's checked in for Towns. Young comes in for Kawhi Leonard. Ray Allen, he's checked in for George. And it's Felton in for Andre Iguodala. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Left side, Korver. Back to Felton. He dishes it to Chandler. No luck. Great D that time from Howard. Chicago leading. The feed to Gibson. .105 left to play in the third. Clock at 6. Allen kicks to Felton. And again, no good by Chicago.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Stolen by Allen.
Clearly a 2-for-1 situation here, guys.
Oh, without question, Greg. I mean, the wise move would be to get themselves a quick shot so they have an opportunity to get that 2-for-1.
Back to Young. Gibson the screen. Pierce against Young. To the middle. Chandler with the steal. Here's Pierce. Throws down the breakaway jam.
And that almost feels like 2 buckets coming off the steal like it did.
And especially the fact that it now ties the game. The lead was about to be stretched out, and instead, it's back even.
Allen's shot is off.
Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage.
And we wrap up the third and looking to be an exciting fourth quarter. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. Nick Young is out there with Taj Gibson. Then it's Allen. Then there's Howard. Then it's Felton in at the point guard position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. There's the bucket. Good.
Defenders need to recognize and be alert to staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Howard, the pass to Young. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Atlanta leading by 3. Here's Morris. Here's Cousins. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number 1 right now. Nothing easy on the inside.
Korver kicks to Cousins. And he jams it with authority.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
And it's Gibson finishing it off.
And this has been purely a display of offense that we're seeing here today.
And, you know, it's only getting better as both of these teams' defenses are starting to show signs of wearing down.
Hard to imagine them losing this game if they can keep shooting like that.
Not many empty trips for this group. It seems everything's falling for them this half.
And it's Howard finishing it off.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
Felton dishes to Gibson. And the foul called on Markieff Morris. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Towns, he's checked in for Gibson. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Nick Young. Paul George is checked in for Allen. And it's Iguodala in for Raymond Felton. Atlanta also making some changes here. Fareed's checked in for Morris. And it's Thompson in for Kyle Korver. Felton with the ball. And it's Iguodala picking him up. And George kicks to Towns. And here's Iguodala outside. But they get it back. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Howard, the pass to Leonard. And Fareed sends it back. And there's the pass to Fox. Inside. Here's Cousins. Here's Leonard. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
So hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on its heels. Let's see how this one turns out.
4 on the clock. Felton goes in. Count that one. And Atlanta leads by 3.
Big-time basket there on the inside. I mean, he had to get that one up and over the big guy.
Way up and over the big guy. And what a time in the ball game to make it happen.
Atlanta making a switch here. Irving's checked in. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Howard with the steal. Leonard attacking to the paint, and stolen by Cousins. Good! And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Atlanta.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
I'm startled that he would even try something like that at this stage of the game.
Cousins with a screen on Iguodala. Off the screen. Kept alive by Atlanta. Here's Fox. No good on the triple.
Well, I tell you what, that's fantastic defense on one of the best three-point shooters in the league. The key there was not to give him much space before he took that shot.
And really, Clark, that's the only way you're going to stop him. The defender was all over him with a hand right in his face.
And that's an intentional foul.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let him dribble the game out.
Exactly. I mean, you got to stop the clock any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
Yeah, how about the nerds there? Those free throws put them in a very good position. 3 points clear.
And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible. First free throw is good, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 5-point game.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Allen.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
And he commits the intentional foul. So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there. And the wide open shot from Chalmers. And again, Chicago, no good. And so it's Atlanta with the W. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Craig Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in as we leave you with our Jordan Player of the Game, DeMarcus Cousins.